Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching SAMAA News. Here are today's headlines. A new round of technical-level talks between the United States and Iran is set to take place in Switzerland on Sunday, as diplomatic efforts continue under the framework of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. According to Pakistan's Foreign Office, the discussions will be held in the Swiss resort town of Bergenstock and will focus on reviewing progress made since the signing of the agreement between Washington and Tehran. Pakistan and Qatar are expected to participate in the talks as mediators, while officials will assess implementation efforts and explore ways to advance commitments made under the Islamabad MOU. US Vice President J.D. Vance says he expects to travel to Switzerland soon for talks with Iran, as efforts continue to advance the interim agreement aimed at ending months of conflict between Washington and Tehran. The development comes as Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, declared the Strait of Hormuz closed once again, accusing the United States and Israel of violating ceasefire commitments. The IRGC warned vessels against approaching the strategic waterway, citing ongoing tensions in Lebanon and concerns over regional security, raising fresh uncertainty over one of the world's most important energy transit routes. Switzerland has confirmed that talks related to the implementation of a recently signed Memorandum of Understanding between the United States and Iran are underway in the Swiss resort town of Bergenstock. According to the Swiss Foreign Ministry, Switzerland is providing a confidential and trustworthy environment for the negotiations. The ministry said diplomats from several countries are actively working to maintain dialogue between the parties. However, Swiss authorities declined to provide details about participants. The first round of negotiations between the United States and Iran is expected to begin in Switzerland following the signing of a historic Memorandum of Understanding. According to White House officials, US Special Envoy for the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, has departed for Switzerland. The talks are expected to focus on Iran's nuclear program. Jared Kushner is already in the Swiss resort of Bergenstock, where preparations for the talks have been underway. US Vice President J.D. Vance is also expected to travel to Switzerland. According to media reports and diplomatic sources, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is also expected to leave for Switzerland. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has once again warned Iran that it has just 60 days to reach a final agreement with Washington, saying failure to do so could trigger actions that Tehran will not like. Speaking at the unveiling ceremony of a new Air Force One aircraft, Trump expressed confidence that diplomacy would prevail, but made clear that the United States was prepared to act if negotiations stalled. Separately, Trump praised Pakistan's leadership and acknowledged its role in helping facilitate negotiations related to the US-Iran agreement.
Shortly afterwards, Iran announced new transit procedures for ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz, requiring vessels to submit crossing requests at least 48 hours in advance. In a social media post, Iran's Persian Gulf Strait Authority stressed that only vessels that comply with the requirements will be cleared for passage promptly. Iran says it will maintain the current status of its nuclear program until a final agreement is reached with the United States. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Esmail Baghaei also denied reports of new invitations for international inspections, saying future access to some nuclear sites will depend on ongoing negotiations.
A public dispute between Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and US President Donald Trump has exposed a sharp deterioration in relations between two leaders once seen as close political allies. The clash erupted after Trump claimed Meloni had begged him for a photograph at the recent G7 summit, prompting an unusually strong response from the Italian leader. In a video statement posted on social media, the Italian Prime Minister said she was astonished by the comments and described them as completely false. She said Donald Trump's statements were completely made up. At least 5 people have been killed in Israeli airstrikes and drone attacks in southern Lebanon, just hours after a ceasefire between Israel and the Iran-backed Hezbollah group took effect. Lebanese state media reported that Israeli warplanes and drones carried out a series of strikes across the Nabatieh area overnight and into Saturday morning, destroying residential buildings and homes, while Israeli artillery shelled Nabatieh and its outskirts before dawn. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching SAMAA News.